were ever any young girls there? I mean, we hear of children going to Neverland, but it all seems to be boys.
False, absolutely false. Women testify that they stayed in his room. And by the way, his room is a 2-story duplex, a huge duplex. That's what we call his room.
Right.
And women stayed there, mothers stayed there, parents stayed there, kids stayed there. And any time a child came up to him and said, we want to play in your room, which he has arcade games and that kind of thing, he always said, I want your parents here right now and I want their permission. And the parents were free to stay. And we had parents testify who did stay. So a lot of this was spin by the prosecution because they wanted to try and convict him through spin. They had nothing to deal with in the courtroom.
Is he childlike? I mean, it's almost hard for me to believe that you can be such a polished entertainer. I mean, when you spend time with him, is it like spending time with a child?
He is childlike, and he's been very vocal when interviewed about why he's childlike. He had no childhood. He was working clubs at 3 in the morning when he was a very small child. He said he used to gaze at schoolyards and wonder what it was like to be just a spontaneous kid. He couldn't do that. He was disciplined very strictly, and he feels as if he never really had a free and spontaneous childhood. And he also is just, he feels as if he's been let down by adults most of his life. He was a child asked to sign papers. He didn't know what money was. All this money was spinning all around him. He got taken advantage of, and he has an empathy for children because he thinks children need more attention in the world. He's helped kids with AIDS around the planet. He's helped kids with all sorts of diseases. Ryan White, the young man who had AIDS and died of it, he took care of him. When a little child in the early 80s was doused with gasoline by his father in Orange County, Michael paid his bills. He's paid bills for injured children all around the world. A lot of this the prosecution tried to bury because they wanted to make him look like a monster, and they failed.
When that documentary came out, and Michael said about sharing your bed and that type of thing, what should the prosecution have done? I mean, when people say, let's say I live in a neighborhood and I know there's a 45-year-old man over there. I see young boys going in and out or children going in and out, and I hear rumors of alcohol, rumors of pornography, locks on the doors. Should they not have investigated?
Well, first of all, what he said in the documentary was, I gave this child my bed and I slept on the floor, and I've never done anything sexual with a child. That's in the documentary. There's also some outtakes that were not included in the documentary where he even expanded on that. He said, I would slit my wrists before I would hurt a child. Okay, so the prosecution tried to spin this so that you didn't know that's in the documentary. The second thing is, yes, if you think there is a valid claim of child molestation, you should investigate, and they did. 70 officers raided Neverland. They couldn't find any forensic evidence to support the claims. No DNA, no hair, no fiber, no fluids, nothing.
Is that uncommon? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll take a break and we'll follow up in this line of permission to treat him as a hostile witness. Be right back. Tom Mesereau, ladies and gentlemen.